you did get to, and how was it? How did you feel?
It felt good. It was a big accomplishment for a college career, but you know, it was a good. It was good to start though and be able to help the team out and have a good game like that and being able to contribute. So it was a good feeling.
How did the secondary, once you went back and watched film and everything, how did you guys feel like you guys played?
We didn't get to watch it the whole thing as a whole. We just watched a few clips, but we didn't have like a lot of blown assignments or missed coverage or anything like that. So we didn't do too bad. Of course, you always have little stuff that you can work on and fix, but other than that, I think we did all right.
And you and Jalen had, put the hit stick on a couple players out there. Was it just an excitement just to be out there and finally get the season started?
Yeah, it was an excitement, and making tackles is all just part of flying to the ball, just having a nose for the ball, just going, just hustling, and then they just come. So it wasn't like something that we had to work extra on. It's just him being a football player, me being a football player, just trying to get to the ball and make tackles.
I feel like it's only been one game, but do you feel like you guys maybe do that better than you did last year? Just fly to the ball. It just seemed like watching it.
Yeah, I mean it was something that we worked on. It's not even just the DBs, but the D linemen also. If you look at film, you got Giorgio Newberry, Jacob Pugh, Joshua, all breaking from out of the stack and flying to the ball and making a few tackles on some screens that maybe would have gone for 15, 20 yards.
Did you know Giorgio in high school?
I knew of him because, of course, we both were recruited. We played against him every year, and we both were committed here. But we weren't like how we are now. But we did know each other.
Jimbo had a lot of nice things to say about him today. It was cool to see him kind of performing better in practice and in the game on Saturday.
Yeah, it is. And of course, for a guy who being from the same area, it's nice to see somebody like that, step up and become a leader and a great player, and his hard work is really paying off for him.
His story's not that much different than yours.
Yeah, it really isn't. The guy from the same area, red shirted, been a few years, and then finally, just put his nose down, worked hard, and it's paying off for him. He's looking really good.
You know it's one game, but does the defense have more fun this year?
Yeah, it was a few guys at the game that kind of said the game was fun. I mean, it's only been one game, but as the season go on, I'm sure you could say like, oh, this was a fun season. But I would say Saturday guys were out there having fun.
Jalen said that the chemistry he feels like on defense is better, and Jimbo agreed with him. What are your thoughts on chemistry, and can you kind of feel the group being a little bit more maybe cohesive?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're all pretty close. Communication is the big thing on and off the field. Me and Jalen typically play on the same side, so if there's something that he's unsure about, I'm unsure about, we talk about it before it happens, so we can be on the same page. And that's the same thing with Nate and Marquez on the other side and whoever's in. Everybody's just kind of pretty close together, and communication is what really helps us out.
Was that something you guys had to work at quite a bit this offseason? When I think Jalen said the communication wasn't quite where the secondary wanted it last year. Is that something that was thought of this year a lot?
The lineup was differently last year with the players and Darby and PJ, and I wasn't, I was in on certain plays, so I can't really speak on that part, but I feel like we did a pretty good job as communicating, and I mean, we could always get better at it because the games that we're going to play are going to be pretty loud, and it's going to be very hard to communicate with each other verbally, so we got to get on the same page as far as head signals and, pre-snap alignment and stuff like that, but I feel like we've been doing a pretty good job so far.
Facing a quarterback this week that can run pretty well. From where you are in the secondary, what's challenging about a running quarterback?
What's challenging is because you gotta stop a running quarterback, the receivers, then a running back. I mean, it's just like another ball carrier. You got some teams where a quarterback just sit in the pocket and throw, but you got a quarterback that when everything is covered up, who can pull the ball down and can run. So it's just something you got to focus on. Everybody just got to do their assignment. You can't be greedy. You can't fit out of your guys trying to make a play or take a play off, because that's another threat that we got to focus on.
So how does that change how you read things, or does it?
It doesn't really change how you read it. Even though other teams don't have running quarterbacks, we still have guys who the quarterback is their responsibility. Even if he doesn't run, that's your responsibility. But now he does run, so now you just got to focus up and do what you got to do.
What improvements have you seen out of Trey Marshall over the course from his freshman year to where he is now?
I would say understanding the game of football better. Mm-hmm. Of course, he's always throwing around and flew to the ball and been physical, but I would say understand the game of football better to allow him to play faster.
Have you started working on USF with the scout team yet?
Somewhat.
Who's taking the quarterback reps for the scout team?
It's between Lucas and Francois. But like you said, some mobile quarterback. I mean, either one of them, whoever's in there at the time, we just let them know that we need to get a good look.
There are a lot of cornerbacks that don't really like contact. Jalen Ramsey seems to, kind of seek it out, and he tries to body slam folks when
Right.
he tackles them. Jimbo said that sometimes can carry on throughout a defense.
Right.
Does that kind of lead? Do you see that, and does that do anything?
Yeah, I
for
agree
you
because,
guys?
like you said, a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of corners don't like contact. So when you have a corner that makes contact, it kind of like, okay, if he can do it, because guys out that be out there on the island don't really want to hit like that, but Jalen thrives for it. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he doesn't look at himself as like, I'm a corner. Corners can't tackle. He's like, I don't care if you're 250 or 180. I get my hands on you. I'm gonna try to, just do what I gotta do. I'm trying to make a tackle and treat you like I treat anybody else.
Right.
You mentioned pursuit, and you felt like you guys did that particularly well, attacking the ball and stuff. Is that something you said you worked on a little bit? Is that something that is almost as much a mentality as it is just practicing? That you kind of have to have a knack for it, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of like a knack. It's a mindset. I mean, guys get tired. Everybody don't have the energy to run up and down the field all day long like some other guys, but it's a mindset. If you can do what you put your mind to. If you just push yourself and work on it, it just come natural. Cool.
Appreciate it.